Mike Ham joins us as usual here on Jersey Magazine. But before we get to our greetings from the Garden State segment, Mike, I saw a notification earlier this week about a partnership with Jetty Rock Foundation and greetings from the Garden State. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the Jetty Rock Foundation is a foundation that really focuses on supporting the coastline here in Jersey specifically. So people that are affected by storms, oyster conservation, all different kinds of things. So they're really in tune with everything that goes on here in Jersey. And when we were looking for some partnerships between, our internet radio stream and the podcast and everything, I was like, this seems like a brand and a company that is in line with us on a lot of different things. So we had Jeremy, their CEO, on the podcast last year. I reached out a couple months ago. They seemed really into it because a lot of the stuff that we're doing is in line with their values and their core beliefs and everything. And we put some stuff together. So we're gonna be doing some live broadcasts from their Coquina Jam, their Hop Sauce Festival this summer down in LBI. They're going to be doing some stuff with us at Jersey Fest in May. So, we're really excited about it. It was definitely something that I was just kind of took a shot at it, and next thing you know, now we're working together. So it was really cool.
Jetty Rock has been around for more than 2 decades, which I was not aware of, and they've raised close to, I believe, $2.5 million in that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was talking to Jeremy at the very beginning, like when him and his buddies basically started Jetty, it was really just something that it was like a clothing line, but they were really in tune with the local surf community down in that area. They knew a lot of people. So then when people were affected by Sandy or all these other things, that was their opportunity to give back. And they saw a need for having their own nonprofit arm of Jetty as a overall corporation, and then put that together. And now that is the arm that really does take care of everything that's important to them.
I think, Sandy, you mentioned, I think that's probably where most people became aware of them from that area because of the impact that Sandy had. And in some cases, parts of the state haven't recovered yet fully.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I think it's just something that, it's like we live in a very fast-paced world, and I think you obviously like you see the boardwalks get rebuilt, you see different things get rebuilt, but then it's really impacted real people, and people that wear Jetty branded stuff or, surfed in the same groups. I don't even know, like, what do you call those? But I'm not a surfer myself. But frequented the same like local surf shops and all that kind of stuff. So they were in that community, and this is just Jetty's way of making sure that they're supporting that community that's been supporting them since they started.
I've had a chance to spend a lot of time over the past 6 or 7 months down in Asbury Park with my band Dead Air, and we performed at a couple of places. And I had a chance to, go and walk the boardwalk more than I have in years. And as I'm looking at it most recently, Mike, all I could think of was the damage of storms like Sandy, and the task of trying to rebuild and how do we prevent more erosion and damage with further storms.
Yeah, and honestly, it's one of those things where, like the Jersey Shore is so, I mean, I think not you personally, but just the royal you, that you forget how important that is to like our life living here in the state and what a great spot that is really from all the way like Asbury all the way down through Cape May, and everything in between there. So just the idea of being able to help kind of rebuild that and making sure that we're using sustainable practices to keep those beaches and the boardwalks and everything vibrant and a cultural center for, in a lot of different communities. But at the same time, like being mindful of it, that it's the environment, and their beaches and it's sand, like the ocean, and everything. All those things are kind of intertwined. And I think they do a great job making sure that, they're raising awareness and supporting the people that make that whole wheel spin.
And to digress for a moment, speaking of Asbury Park, the Bruce Springsteen movie, which has been filmed down there, of course, they've gone to great lengths to recreate certain parts of Asbury Park from the early 70s. And some of the photographs that I've seen from the production site look amazing. It brings back so many memories as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't remember the 70s because I wasn't born yet.
I do.
Yeah. But listen, I mean, honestly, like I've seen those pictures myself, and I'm like, why don't they keep the carousel in the carousel house? Like that'd be pretty cool. But I mean, I know that there's a lot of things, things that are above our pay grades that we can't really get into. But I do think that it's really cool what they've been able to do with that, and just kind of giving. I think it does help give people a glimpse into what those types of communities were like back in the 70s and even prior to that. You look at all up and down the shore, and those communities, and each different one is unique in its own way, but they've all evolved quite a bit, throughout the years.
Well, great news on the partnership with Jetty Rock Foundation, and I'm sure you'll keep us posted on that going forward. In the meantime, as part of our Greetings from the Garden State segment, we're talking about Scopus hospitality, and I do hope I pronounced Scopus properly.
You sure did. Yeah. Yeah. So we're talking about Scopus Hospitality. We talked with Dean Marilakis, he runs Scopus Hospitality. They have several spots throughout northern New Jersey, mostly. So, not mostly in northern New Jersey. We recorded at Cowan's Public, it's in Nutley. It was the first restaurant that him and his brother had bought. It was funny, like it used to be the Nutley Pub, like way back in the day, and the Marilakis family grew up in Nutley, and their father was like a bartender at the Nutley Pub, like way back in the day. So a nice little full circle moment there. So we tried some food, we tried a couple cocktails, which are always my favorite episodes to record. And it's a really cool space. It's been there for 10 years, and they've opened up, I think, 7 other spots since they opened up Cowan's. And most recently, Nomada in Verona, which is a Mexican spot. And we got a chance to go to the soft opening, and it was phenomenal. So definitely a place to check out.
Yeah, 7 locations, including 2 in Jersey City and 1 in Harrison. Harrison is a very up and coming town in this area.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that I like, I mean, opening up that many spots in a 10-year span is honestly wild. But I like the fact that they're focusing on communities that, have some, upward mobility, like a Harrison. And, I mean, obviously, like they're in Jersey City, they're in Nutley, they're in Verona, Harrison. So they're in communities that are really moving forward and doing some really cool things.
And on a side note, skopos, which has a number of different meanings in Greek, but the word as it's used in the New Testament is a goal or objective. And that's a pretty cool way to look at it for the name of a company.
Yeah. Listen, I didn't know that. This is why I love doing these shows because I always come and I learn something about the guest that I didn't get from the actual interview.
I only know a handful of Greek words. A couple of them I can't say. I roomed with a kid in college who was first generation and was fluent in Greek.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say on the radio would be Efgadisto, which is thank you.
Oh, nice. You're welcome.
I'll teach you the other stuff off the
All right,
air.
thanks.
And you can check all of it out, jettyrockfoundation.org if you want to learn more about them. And you can always go to greetingsfromthegardenstate.com to check out the great stuff that Mike Ham does there. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Jim.